a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Steve Ramona. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast. Steve Ramona. We're all about to talk on life. Our guest will share his life story. We want you to success in life. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk on life. We're gonna talk on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are gonna witness. Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast.
When I got into my car, Amanda's mom had called to tell me that Amanda had passed away. So that is, that's an experience. You said share with me as an experience about a grateful heart. I was grateful. I was grateful that I was able to help. I was grateful that I was able to be there and to do what I could. And I had to be grateful that I know that it was all divinely organized, and we live in an organized world. God is ultimately in charge. He decides when we come and he decides when we go.
I want to invite you into the Business Network, my free school community for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to grow their network and scale their business. Inside, you'll get step-by-step lessons, monthly workshops, feedback, scripts, resources, bonuses, and a community of like-minded people who believe in helping each other win. Join us today at school.com/thebusinessnetwork or click the link in the description and click Join Group. I'll see you inside.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I'm excited to have you on because I just spent 20 minutes with my guest and talk about alignment, connection, powerful things. Please get a pad and paper out because you're going to want to take notes. I got my little iPad here because I have already got notes. We haven't even started yet. But let's start our show with this great gratitude. This is a good one today because it actually fits my guest very well. You have something unique to offer. Never forget how special you are. Uniqueness comes in many different packages. You all have that. Believe in that. Have faith in that. And share those uniqueness and impact others. So with that being said, let's bring our guest on. Angela, welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve. Thank you so much for having me today. I am excited to engage with you and talk about whatever feeds our hearts.
Well, let's jump on the question of what's the biggest impact you think you've made as of today?
Every morning I get up and I say, God, direct my footsteps. And whoever he puts in front of me that day is the impact. And whether it is a stranger off the streets, or maybe it's to rescue an animal from a crazy situation, or it's to help a little old man that he fell on the ground. He had blood from one end to the other, to pick him up and put him on the park bench. So every day is an opportunity to make an impact. I can't think of, I've received emails with people saying that I've helped them change their life, heal their life. And that's what I'm all about is showing up in this world with a grateful heart and extending what I can do to others.
I love what you just said because everybody can do that. It's just
Everybody.
not you, Angela. Everybody can accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when you make an impact?
My entire body lights up. It's exciting. I feel like it's so exciting to be able to show up and help someone and to be of service with the gifts that God gives us. God has given each one of us a gift. And it is our duty to learn the necessary skills to become proficient at the gift that God gave us. And then we get to choose what we want to do with our gift, whether we want to share it with others or whether we want to keep it to ourselves and become a hermit. So you get the opportunity. God gives us free choice and free will. How do you want to show up and serve other people?
Power of impact is never, I'm never unhappy when I make an impact. That's the power of it. It's the 100% joy, happiness that comes from it. It could be, as small as, in church a couple of weeks ago, I told a lady her baby was beautiful. She lit up for 10 seconds. Did I care about the outcome? No, and you don't either. You just make that impact and let God and the universe take it and run with it. Let's talk about your book. I want to jump into your book. You're so excited about it. Tell us the title and what's the basis of your book?
My latest book is Trigger the Wonder Horse, Memoir of a Spiritual Warrior. I feel like that, well, it took me over 20 plus years to live, write, publish, and here I am. So it wasn't just something that started a few years ago. My entire life's events have culminated up to today and sharing this message. It's about faith, it's about healing, it's about miracles, staying close to God and allowing him to heal our bodies from the inside out and become this giant magnet of love and serving each other from a space of love. Because when we heal ourselves, which we can do, it's biblical. And well, we don't heal ourselves. We allow God to move through us. He renews ourselves, renews our mind, renews our body. We become a healthy, whole individual.
So what do you tell people, and I've heard this, that have come up to me and go, I just lost my father. He didn't heal my father. Where's the healing?
The healing is knowing that he's with Jesus. The healing is knowing that his life was between him and God. And we're just active participants in each other's play called life. But at the end of the day, knowing his journey was between him and God, there is peace in that. There is peace in knowing that it wasn't our responsibility, but it is our responsibility to forgive whatever we need to forgive or release any of the emotions that we've been harboring for years. And it's our responsibility to, after the grief, grief takes time. Grief happens to each and every one of us. It happens in phases and waves, and there aren't any predictable days when it comes and it's over and here it shows up again. But it is our responsibility to get up, to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, and to go outside, stand in the sunshine, and you get another day. You get another day for this life, and to be a grateful servant.
Powerful message. Let's dive into that a little deeper. Faith and hope are a big part of this. And I've had people tell me, I've lost all faith and hope. What would you tell them now if they told you that, to get and find their faith and hope?
It's I think we've all been there. We've all been there. And when you lose it and you're in that space of despair, one of the quickest things that you can do to get out of it is to go outside and stand in nature. Put your feet on the ground, look up at the sunshine, breathe in the fresh air, take a deep breath and let it go. Take a deep breath and you let it go. And you keep doing that until you filled your body with fresh air. You've let go of the emotional, mental chatter that's taking over your mind, and you just allow yourself to be in the present moment. The present moment is the gift. The present moment is all that each and every one of us have, is now. None of us can predict what's going to happen tonight or tomorrow or a year from now. We can forecast, or we can say, well, in 2 years you can, of course, have plans, have dreams, what you want to
Yeah.
do with your life. I mean, we always have to work towards a mission and something fun, but right now is the present moment. So do what you can in the present moment. And when you are in a space of you've lost all hope, you've lost all faith, go outside, connect with Mother Nature, stand against a tree, and just feel the different vibrations and frequency that is in the atmosphere.
You're brilliant because it's so simple. Anybody can do that. You're in a
Anybody can
wheelchair,
do
you
it.
can do that. I don't care what capabilities, you can do that, but our mind gets in the way and
Mhm.
all that other stuff we won't dive into because you're a therapist and you've dealt with that. Just audience, just breathe. You're having struggles, just take a deep breath.
Deep
Enjoy
breath.
what God's given us. Yeah.
Yep.
You
As
you go ahead.
the minute you the minute you allow your mind to get into a state of fear, and because that's what the mind will do, it'll go into a state of fear, and then it will try to find a story that it can attach to of all the failures and times in life that you've worried. that is when the that's when you're working with uh, the mind of the enemy. You got to get on God's team. You got to get on God's side. God is abundant. God is love. God is healing. God is nurturing. Stay on the side of God. And you say, and that moment you put your hands together and say, God be with me, God be with me. And he'll move through you. That Holy Spirit will move through you and begins to center you and focus you. And that's where you stay. That's where you stay until you get up and walk.
I've done that, and I just started doing that recently in the last couple of years. It's a game changer. So thank you for sharing that. It's such a powerful message. I talk to a lot of people because I've got doing business with a servant's heart. A lot of people, a number of people don't know what that means. So for my audience, what does servant's heart mean to you? What's that description to you?
Help who's in front of you. Help who is ever in front of you. One of I have numerous stories in my blogs and my books. That's what I've written about. Is I'm passionate about writing. I love to write, and I love to write about how God works in our lives. And man, God has disciplined me like no other. So I got really good at listening and obeying. But one of the things that I am good at is working with my hands. Studied around the world, learning healing techniques with my hands because that's what I do. That's I guess that's my gift to the world. My mom, back in the day, I started when I was 5. She would have me rub her feet, and today I'm still probably rubbing people's feet, and because the feet are maps of the body. Anyway,
Yes.
I one situation, I had a client that she is a pediatric doctor, and she had a patient who was in the hospital, and this girl, her name, I'll call her Amanda, was so she had leukemia, and she only had a few days left to live, and they were hoping for a miracle. They were hoping for a miracle, and she asked me to go to the hospital and just be with her, put my hands on her, make her rub her back. I don't know what I could do. So I went to the hospital, and it was I was in her room, and her mom was waiting outside, and of course her mom wanted a miracle. They all wanted a miracle. Well, Jesus does miracles. I'm just a vessel. I just show up and I just use my hands, and I sit with you when you're sick. I can sit with you when you're dying. I have had to do that in different scenarios as well. Anyway, with Amanda, I just touched her feet, and then I went up to her head, and I put my hands under her head, and I was just sitting there with her. And all of a sudden, I really felt this intuitive nudge: time's up, time's up, get out, your time is up. And I knew my time was up. And so I said a prayer, and Amanda was unconscious, I think. And I walked out of the hospital room, and her mom just looks at me and says, she wanted me to say something, but I couldn't say anything because I knew it was Amanda's time was up. And as I just said, I said, I can't even remember what I said, honestly.
Yeah.
I left. And as I'm walking down the halls of the hospital and walking out the front door, I just started crying and crying and crying. And I said, God, why couldn't we help her? Why couldn't we help her? And I didn't know. I didn't know. And as I'm walking down the street to my car, there's this homeless man, or appeared to be a homeless man, walking up the street towards me. And I looked at him. He got right to me, and I looked at him, and he said, "Your hands are full of beauty and grace." And I stopped, and he continued walking, and I turned around, and he was gone. When I got into my car, Amanda's mom had called to tell me that Amanda had passed away. So that is, that's an experience. You said share with me as an experience about a grateful heart. I was grateful. I was grateful that I was able to help. I was grateful that I was able to be there and to do what I could. And I had to be grateful that I know that it was all divinely organized, and we live in an organized world. God is ultimately in charge. He decides when we come, and he decides when we go.
You gave her hope. And people are going to go, what's Steve mean by that? That she's not in pain anymore.
Right.
She's not living a quality of life. It was the end. Succinctly, you said, I've heard people tell me, oh, yeah, God, that's so crass. It's not. It is what it is.
It's life.
We're on a podcast right now talking on Zoom. That is what it is. It's presence, what you just said. Live today, and that day was her day to pass and be with the Lord. It's beautiful. Let's lead into intuitive. That's what you called yourself before the show. Explain to the audience what intuitive means and well, you kind of explained to us with that story, but explain that, because I don't think people understand all the time.
Intuition is going beyond our five senses. It's working with that sixth sense, and it is beyond the rational conscious mind. So it's a gut instinct. Mother nature is one of our greatest teachers, and she knows. If you ever watch a deer during hunting season, as soon as that deer gets a whiff of a smell, or maybe looks up and sees different cloud formation, that deer takes off. And that is their gut instinct. It's survival. Well, as human beings, we also have a gut instinct. We also have that innate internal, initial gut feeling that we have to act immediately. We have to do something. You either got to move your feet, or you got to stay still. And that is your intuition, which is different than discernment. Discernment is knowing what is different, what is, I think, the moral code that Christ has written on our hearts. What is the difference between right and wrong, which I think we should all pretty much have figured out. And and then there's that intuitive gift. And as we begin to, if understand the subconscious mind, you understand body language, you understand when you can read people, you begin to put together all sorts of patterns and pattern recognition, and then you have that gut instinct that tells you yes or no. And that's what it is. So intuition is beyond the five senses. It is feeling the different vibrations in the air, in the atmosphere, and acting accordingly.
And there's different levels. We all have intuition. I mean, I'm a sports guy. When I played sports, I got that rumbling feeling in my stomach. And my coach used to tell me all the time, you're going into battle, especially football or it's normal to have that. And, people go and speak. Being uncomfortable to be comfortable to me is part of intuition as well, which you've been part of, right?
Right. Well, an example of intuition is as simple. We can break it down into simple tasks. One day you decide to get in your car and you decide to go to a different route to work just because. So, or you decide to wait 30 minutes before you get into your car to go down the interstate. A couple years ago, I was in my office, and my gut was saying, don't leave yet, don't leave yet, don't leave yet, don't leave yet. So I waited and I waited until it was time for me to leave. I left. And sure enough, as I was driving to my destination, a dog had gotten loose on the interstate. Someone needed to stop and help the situation, and that's what I did. If I would have left 20 minutes before, I would have missed it. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, it's so good because I think too life has intuition. How many stories from 9/11 where people were like, I
Mhm.
got up late because I went
Right.
party, I was hungover, I got in late, I didn't go in. How many
Mhm.
people have been on airplanes that crashed that
Mhm.
missed their flight
Mhm.
or overslept or whatever the story is?
Mhm.
That's life's intuition, like telling you, or God, we don't even use life, it's God. Like, okay,
Mhm.
it's not your time. You're not going to go on
Mhm.
that plane.
Mhm.
I want to jump in because I love dogs. I'm a dog lover. You mentioned a number of species of animals during our podcast. Where does the passion for animals come from?
And I don't know. I was born loving animals. I grew up riding a black lab. There are pictures of me at 1 years old riding my black lab at my house, and it's just grown from there. So, what dogs, cats, horses, those are. Those are my species that I feel the most comfortable around. But, donkeys, llamas, cows, bulls, back in the day, growing up on a farm, we had two bulls, and I would invite my friends over, and I didn't tell my mom what we were doing, but I would be like, "Oh, mom, we're gonna go out to the barn," and she'd be like, "Oh, okay, go have fun." And what I would do, and I still can't believe that I did this today. I would put my friends on the back of a bull, and then I would tell them to jump from the gate to the back of the bull, and I would stand in front of the bull, and I said, "Don't worry, it'll be okay." And then I would lead them around the the arena on the back of a bull, and I'm like, to this day I'm like, how did we all survive with but the
Resilience.
bull was nice, and he knew that I was just, eight,
Yeah,
10 years old, and my friends had a lot of faith in me.
yeah. No, those are great stories. And as kids, we're resilient. What we don't know, we don't know. We're just innocent, and thank God nothing happened because it does. Things like that will happen,
Yeah, they do.
unfortunately. But
They
but
do.
a lot of times they're learning lessons.
Oh, yes.
Especially if nobody ends their life with that. Let's end with this. I've been meaning to ask this question the whole podcast. For the audience, what kind of hope can you give them in the next 10 years? The world's changing fast, and it's a crazy world.
It is. Definitely, it is a crazy world. First and foremost, God created this universe. God created each and every one of us. So God lives inside of us. His ability to heal our bodies it is miraculous. Most of the time we need to slow down and open up to his divine presence, and the body is able to renew itself. It is able to heal. I know this for a fact. I do know this for a fact. I have witnessed it myself. On myself and with others. It is written. It is written in the Bible that God does heal. Like Psalm 107. He sent out his word, and he sent out his word and healed them. When you pick a certain verse out of scripture and you meditate on it and you allow those words to internalize in the body, it will renew your cells, and God will heal you through his word. So my advice, where we are currently, is to to sit with God, to sit with the Word of God, to look up, review healing scriptures, and allow those words, because words carry energy. Words are a vibration. Allow the vibration of God's words to heal every cell in your body, because He will do it. He will. And just you have to put your trust in knowing that it is thy will be done. Thy will be done. And when you repeat that, you know that God's got a plan for your life, whatever that is. So the story I told you earlier about Amanda, it was God's plan for her life. It was God's plan that day that she didn't walk out of the hospital. It's also every day, every situation is different, and it at the end of the day, it's our agreement with God and why we're here on this earth. How many days that we have, nobody knows. Every day is an opportunity, and to be grateful, to have a heart that we can extend to others, and just show up and be good servants in whatever capacity we're called to do.
What a great lesson to be able to give back and serve. If you're not doing it now, start today, start tomorrow, start when you listen to this podcast. As little as big. You can give somebody $1 million or tell them their smile is beautiful. It doesn't matter. You're serving humanity, and just a beautiful thing. Let's end with a fun question to get to know you. You're in Denver. So I want you to do is pick your favorite restaurant. I want you to invite 3 people who've been impactful in your life, and they can be dead or alive. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
For me, I want to know what food you'd order for the table, because I'm a foodie.
Oh, I love I love good steakhouses. The melting pot. I love fondue. So I love the experience of fondue, to have different sauces, different cheeses, different chocolates to go with dessert, and the opportunity to dip whatever you want into a Swiss cheese or a Wisconsin cheddar or whatever it is. So it would be like a melting pot or a fondue place.
Beautiful. Who would you invite?
I could do past or present.
Past or present?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd invite Jesus, because I'm having dinner with Jesus, and Jesus, and then my mom, because she passed away when I was 24. So I'd have my mom have dinner with us, and then you know what? And my dad's still here. I'd invite my dad too. And I invite my dad. They did get divorced, but they reconciled, before she passed away. And it's been, I can't even tell you the last time. Maybe it was 6 or 7. I was 6 or 7 years old when the last time I had dinner with my mom or my dad. So I would have dinner with my mom and my dad.
Beautiful. What a great table. And Jesus would be great, and he could bless the wine and make things out of wine and bread and just take care of us.
That's right.
Perfect melting pot. The melting pot with bread. Oh, you picked that one perfectly. Angela, thank you for taking the time, your busy schedule, and blessing the audience. I know people want to reach out and connect with you. How can they do that?
I have a website, angelalenhardt.com. Trigger the Wonder Horse has also got his own website. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm all over social media. So my books are available on Amazon. They are self-published. And my heart and soul went into doing, my heart and soul went into the work that I'm doing today.
Beautiful. Audience, will have all that in the show notes as well. Thanks again, Angela. And audience, these are gifts. We can impact people with podcasts. Listen what Angela talked about for 20 minutes. If you know somebody struggling, loves animals, wants a little inspiration or a lot of inspiration, share this out, because I know that they're going to be smiling like I am, listening and being part of this whole show. So subscribe to the podcast, whether it's Doing Business with a Servant's Heart, her YouTube. What's your YouTube channel, Angela?
Angela Lenhardt, just my name. Angela Lenhardt, yeah. And
subscribe
LLC maybe.
There you go. She's got, and we'll put it in the show notes too. So you just click the link and be able to access that and get inspired like we have been today. With that being said, Angela and I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.